Welcome to A Dose of Feel Good. I'm your host, Whitney Bischoff, and today we are talking about choose people who choose you. You can see full show notes at doseoffeelgood.my.canva.site. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to another episode of Dose of Feel Good, and I am super jazzed for our episode this week. Our topic is choose people who choose you. And I've been seeing quotes all over social media on this topic, and I really took it to heart and just have a lot of really great thoughts to share with you all. And I think this topic is really telling for the millennials of the world. So it applies to any generation, but I think really millennials right now, or at least a lot of my friends that I'm talking to, because like at the end of the day, we all just want to be chosen, and that's what this topic is all about. And I was talking with somebody the other day, and we were just talking about this concept that, you know, I feel like a lot of maybe older generations, or even like movies, TV shows, things like that, there is this mentality that, you know, and maybe you're in this boat too, that, you know, you have this best friend that you've had since kindergarten or beforehand, and you grow up together and you've been best friends forever. And there's just this feeling that everybody has that. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I have people that I've known that long, but I don't know if I'd be like, oh yeah, we've been best friends forever. And like, what even makes a best friend? Like, there's so much to that. And I think if you don't have that, then it's like, oh, I missed the boat, and I am not on the same page as everybody else who's had these people or these best friends that they've had forever, since kindergarten, and that can I don't know, hurt, if you will. So that's this concept of choose people who choose you, because we do have people who choose us in our lives. But I think as humans, we sometimes get stuck in this place of wanting everyone to like us. And so we have then this added element, a lot of us, that we are helpers, the helpers of the world. So we often give and give and give to people. And I know I'm in this boat that unfortunately we come across people then that take and take and take, because we are the givers. And it kind of throws us off balance. You know, we find ourselves in this place of trying to fit in spaces or justify our actions because we are giving so much, or just feeling completely wiped out because people are just taking so much, or even just feeling out of place because we're trying to fit in these spaces. Or like I said, from that original example of, like, you know, if everybody else has been best friends with people since kindergarten and we're trying to fit in with those same people, because you can't just reinvent the wheel. Like, it's the same people. You can't all of a sudden have new people that you went to kindergarten with. That's not how the world works. So you're trying to, you know, stay connected with these people, but ultimately we change. Personalities change, whatever that looks like. And so we might be trying to fit or justify staying in these places or whatever that looks like. And so this balance gets all out of sorts, if you will. And so it can leave us feeling really lonely. And I think a lot of the time, I'm sure y'all have heard of like the loneliness epidemic or those pieces. And I think it comes from that, like trying to fit within this box or bubble or whatever you call it. And it can stem from that, whether it's trying to fit in places where people are taking because we're givers, or because it's all we've known. So the people that we're connected to, we no longer feel like it makes sense for us. But it's hard to meet new people. And so it's like, it's just easier to stay in places where, even though we might not feel like we fit anymore there. And at the end of the day, like I said, we all just want to feel wanted and to be chosen. And that's a hard reality, right? But this reminder that we are chosen. There are people, and even future people, that will choose us. I think sometimes we just have to put ourselves in that uncomfortable places to meet new people, or even just the reminders of maybe putting ourselves or reminding ourselves of where we're putting our energy, because oftentimes we're putting our energy into places where maybe it's the people we want to choose us, but they're not choosing us back. But there are so many other people who continue to choose us over and over and over. We just aren't connecting the dots that, hey, maybe I should choose those people that are choosing us. So we need to focus our energy in the right places rather than those wrong places for the people who aren't choosing us. So I want to kind of tell a few different stories here. So I think the first, this reality, when we're talking about, people we've grown up with, or, and as we change, as we experience different things, it's okay to have seasonal friends. I talk about this often with different people, that there are people in our lives that are there for a season, and it doesn't discount that relationship, or it doesn't make it any less powerful or meaningful, or whatever the word you want to tie to that. Because I think of people in my life that, they were in my life for the season, and that relationship was everything that I needed in that moment. And I still have really fond memories of those people, and I still connect with those people. It's different now because we're at different stages of our lives. We've changed. But those friendships in those seasons, are everything that I needed. And that's okay. That is okay. But we as humans aren't meant to have 5,000 friends at a given moment in time. We can only give so much of our energy in those moments. So those seasonal friendships are okay. The other kind of concept here is, I want to show up for folks, but I also have to be reminded it goes both ways, right? That when I show up, I need people to also show up for me. So I was talking with somebody that, like, when you're at different seasons of life, whether I don't have kids, a lot of my friends do, but when I show up for their functions or things like that, my life is different. So when I'm like, hey, let's go, I don't know, even just to like go to dinner together, right? That like, I'm not going to have major milestones where baby showers or kids' birthdays or things like that, but like my things are just as important. So like there's that give and take, that like I'll show up for your things, but like the people who choose me are going to show up for my things as well, even though we're at different stages of life. I think this can also be shown of like one of my favorite things are like the out of the blue friends. So that choosing you, again, you can't always be present for everyone, but like choosing me also looks like the people who just reach out of the blue, let them know that letting me know that they're thinking of me, they're choosing to pour their energy into me. I had a friend do this recently. We went and got dinner together and connected like no time had passed. And that is a lot of my friendships, that you don't have to talk every single day, but they're choosing me out of the blue. And I know I've talked about this before, that like the 10-minute rule is everybody has 10 minutes in their day, and the power of those out of the blue moments, that we all have that energy, and you can choose people in that way. We don't have to overthink it. And I think there's so much impact to this that I really genuinely believe this, that, and we have to be reminded of this, that you deserve to be chosen. You deserve that. You are enough. That ball of energy that you are, you deserve to be chosen as that. You bring that energy to the room, and the right people will see that. I think sometimes we push for people that don't see the value that we bring. And I know I've been there. I'm like, I just want you to see who I am in this moment and how freaking amazing I am, because I am. I bring so much to the table. And I think sometimes I'm just like pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm like, why can't you see how awesome I am? And I want those people to recognize that. And instead I'm like, why am I not putting my energy into the people who do recognize that already? And I think a little bit for me, it's out of spite. I'm like, come on, people, figure it out, because I'm freaking awesome. But I think that can really drain on somebody. So that reminder that you deserve to be chosen, and it shouldn't have to be a fight. It doesn't make it any easier, because we care about people. And I think that caring, again, we give a lot, and we shouldn't be around people then that just take and take and take, again, because you deserve to be chosen with that energy that you bring to that space. But I think even though it's really difficult maybe to set up those boundaries to focus on the people that do choose you, I think this reminder that soft hearts are the ones who forget how often that they have been chosen, because their energy is spent in places that will never recognize them for how incredible they are. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And I want to say that one more time, that the soft hearts are the ones who forget how often they have been chosen, because their energy is spent in places that will never recognize them for how incredible they are. And again, that's hard. That is really hard. But I think this reminder that we can lean into people who show you your power, and also challenge ourselves to be brave enough to put up a wall for the people who steal our shine. And again, that I'm that spiteful person that I'm like, nope, I'm gonna keep showing up, because eventually I'm gonna wear you down. But the reality is that they tend to wear us down. It's not the other way around. And it's not our job to fix them. At the end of the day, they got to figure that out for themselves. And so our call to action is we're going to choose people who choose us. And that's where we're going to put our energy. And I know that's where I want to put my energy. And it's taken a lot of practice. I want to really focus my energy, because there's so many people who choose me and already know how freaking amazing I am. And so there are people in your life that are doing that too. And let's choose to focus our energy there. So on that note, I want you to identify the people that do choose you. Bring yourself kind of back down a little bit, and who are the people that choose you? And identify those people. And when you have, I want you to do something special for them this week. And it doesn't have to be above and beyond. Again, that it can be something just reaching out of the blue and let them know that I'm thinking of you. Thank you for being in my life. And the power of those moments, you're choosing them. And I know for me, like, the people who do that are the people that, I treasure so much. It's those, again, the out of the blue. It does so much in my life. Like, I cannot reiterate that enough as somebody who has struggled a lot. I want to impact so many people, but you can't be everything to everyone. And so when people let me know that they're choosing me, it's so powerful. So we're going to do that this week. We're going to identify the people that choose us. We're going to do something special for them in return. And then the flip side of that, we're also going to identify the people where we've been putting energy in where they're not choosing us back. And we're going to set some boundaries. And that's really hard to do. But we're going to do that because we want to focus our energy in the people who are choosing us. And at the end of the day, you are amazing just as you are, and you deserve to put your energy in those, the people who already recognize that. So that's where we're going to wrap up today. So I would love to hear about the things that you choose to do for the people who are choosing you. So if you want to share throughout the week, I would love to hear from you. But with that, we're going to wrap up. Hope you have a wonderful week, and stay tuned for next week because we are getting real close to our 1-year anniversary, and we're going to be dropping a handful of episodes all together here around June 1st. Also check out our merchandise, stickers. We'll be having some fun giveaways around June 1st. So keep an eye out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the above. Otherwise, thank you for going on the journey for the last year as well, and I'll have much more to say about that. See you soon.
Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are feeling ready to conquer the week and let your impact ripple out to the world around you. Let's connect on Instagram and Threads at Dose of Feel Good Podcast. If you're loving the podcast, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and leave a review. Until next time, share your own dose of feel good and never underestimate the power of positivity.